If you're constantly struggling to pick up items with your backhoe and you don't have a thumb, chances are this scene looks quite familiar. Come with us as we pick out a new thumb from Linville Industries, install it, and put it to use. You won't have to struggle like this anymore, so let's get it done. Let's get a thumb.
Hey folks, it's Mark with Fire Mountain Outdoors. Hey, as you can see, I got myself kind of a semi-antique excavator to use around here on the FMO place. And as you can see from the video that we just showed you, that lifting up a log can be a pain with just the bucket. And I decided I needed a thumb. Now, there's a couple of different styles of thumbs. One would be a hydraulic thumb, and that would be controlled from within the cab, and it would extend or retract, and you could reach out and pinch. And then there's another style that's called a fixed thumb, and that fixed thumb just bolts on and then pins. And I looked at my machine and what I thought it was worth and how much it was going to cost, and I decided, you know what? A hydraulic thumb would be pretty cool, but it's going to cost me too much to implement. So I started looking for a fixed thumb. Now, there's a couple of different price ranges and styles of fixed thumbs. Now, you can buy a fixed thumb that has the base plates like these and the crossing bars and all of these that are fully machined and fully bushed and use a full contact pin. And those are pretty expensive. They're going to run somewhere between $700 or $1,000 for my particular machine. For my machine, I decided that the simple thumb from Linville equipment from Shelby, Ohio really fit my needs. This whole design is super simple. I could do any kind of repairs. I like this type of this pin. This pin is readily available from my local tractor store. And frankly, at the cost point for $200, I couldn't really make this and engineer this myself in any kind of economy. So it really made sense for me to just buy this thumb from Linville versus making my own. So the first thing, if you're going to order a Linville thumb, you're going to need to measure. I measured from the arm on my hoe, the dipstick, with the bucket at 90 degrees to the end of the teeth. Or as you can see in the picture, the end of where the teeth should be. Like I said, my machine's seen a lot of use, and the teeth are kind of rounded off like an old deer or an elk. So I decided that what I needed was a 24-inch thumb, and we're going to go position it on there, show you some tips on how to locate it, and weld it on, test her out. Come on out to the shop. So here we are at the hoe, and the first thing that I want to do is make sure that I'm not going to mount this particular pivot plate anywhere where it's going to interfere with the motion of my bucket. So I have extended my bucket to full curl, brought it in all of the way, and we have 3 holes here and a single hole here. These are the adjustments right here. This is the pivot. So I'm going to place a little 1x piece of wood right down there. That is going to give me some clearance. And I'm going to place this pivot up there on that. And I'm just doing a dry fit right here. I know that I have clearance there, and now it will never bind because I've given myself that much extra space. And since I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and mark my boom up here at the top where I want the end of the weld on base plate to be. Now this is the part where you're going to need a little bit of help. Bob's stepping in here and he's going to help me hold this all together because you need 4 hands to do this. We're going to put this board back up in there, our spacer. Then we're going to hold this pivot right there. It's going to go right where our mark is. And what I'm hoping is that I can actually just clamp this on there and then check the angles of the bucket and of the thumb and see if I have to shift it anywhere. So I'm just using a large C-clamp to hold this down. The bottom of my dipstick has a welded on it that makes it a little bit thicker than this up here. So I have another little variable where I've got to consider that. We're gonna center that on there. I'm gonna clamp this down. And now that I have that clamped down, we're gonna go actually mount the cross arm, if we can make it fit, and the teeth of the thumb, and see if we can't get an idea how this is gonna work before we weld her down.
It's a good plan.
All right. Well, Bob, we couldn't put the connecting pin in because I got this big C-clamp in the way. So, but what I did is I mounted it external, just to get an idea of where this is going to land in the 3 positions. I really like this position right here, and this is probably the one that I'm going to use most. You can see it's a little off center. It's because the pin is offset and it's taking up the slop over here. Once again, this doesn't have bushings, and so it's going to be loosey-goosey, a little sloppy.
Yeah.
But I think this is the one that I'm going to use the most, this particular position, for getting logs. By the time I extend the boom, that's going to be out there. Let's try out the other positions.
Perfect.
I'll start up the machine and move it to the next one. I like that position, Bob. If I was going to be moving rocks or lifting something up high where I wanted the thumb to be down below, that's a good spot. That still works well. I'm not binding anywhere. Let's try the very last position. I think I like it.
I think this is the spot.
That's the spot. So we know that it's not going to bind in full curl. I like all 3 positions. Let's tack it on there. Make sure we like it, and then burn her in good.
Sounds good.
All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just putting 4 heavy tacks on this, and then when I get done tacking it on there, we're going to check everything out, make sure it's all good on its own accord without the help of the C-clamp. If I like it, we're going to burn her in solid and hard.
Try next position.
I like it.
I think you're right there.
All right, so we checked it all out. We know it's not going to bind because we gave it a spacer. We're going to burn it in and go lift a log. Well, good. Now we've got this Linville thumb mounted up and welded to the machine. I haven't even painted it yet, and the welds aren't even all the way cool. But we're going to go ahead and pick up this log that we fought with earlier and see how this thumb does. Well, that is awesome. You know, this machine went from just being a digger to having what separates us from the rest of the whole kingdom, having an opposable thumb. I was able to pick that log up, and now I can move things around however I want without having to dig and scoop. I'll tell you what, for $200, that improved the versatility of my machine immensely. I think that this is going to work out just right, and I think that that Linville thumb was a darn good investment. Just took us a little bit of time to lay it out, weld it up. Now that I'm done picking up the log, let's see how this thumb stows away. After you're done using the thumb, you can stow everything on the machine. First, you can pull the cotter pins, pull these two pins, and remove this bar. And then we fold the thumb up. You can insert this back in here. Stick the pins in. And now everything is stowed, tucked out of the way. One thing that I did notice is that this will probably rattle back and forth and clang around a little bit. You can either bungee that up or just call that clanging a little bit of excavating music. Now it's out of the way. I can dig my trench, I can get everything out of the way. If I need to pick something up, get off the machine, repin the crossbar, pick whatever I want up, fold it back up, put it out of the way, just like that. The Linville thumb, installed, used, and put away. Hey, I think this was a great investment. If you want a Linville thumb, go ahead and look at the link down below in the description box. That'll take you to their website, or you can check them out. They have their thumbs almost all the time on eBay. This cost about $200, shipped right to your door for a 24-inch thumb like I have here. And I think it was a worthy investment. I think it was the right price point and the right construction level and equipment for what I needed, and this is going to serve me well. Hey, if you liked this video and you found it entertaining, make sure you go to Fire Mountain Outdoors, the YouTube page, like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.